I decided that I was going to start a new series on this channel. So, what is this series? Well, this is going to be my, I guess, theoretical builds series where I talk through the builds I'm planning on playing. And now, obviously, that doesn't mean that I have to play these builds or I'm guaranteed to play these builds, but it means that it's the builds that I'm planning on playing and most likely will, but not always, because obviously things change with the game and with me, so obviously I can't guarantee I'll be playing all the things that I say. But yeah, so what are we talking about today? Well, obviously, unless you live under a rock, Arcane Trickster is releasing. So today we're going to at least try to make an endgame viable Arcane Trickster. At least that's the plan, anyways. Obviously it hasn't released yet, so it still could change from what the Lomania had. And obviously the builder is going to be going off of what was on Lomania, so obviously this is very likely to change for release, but the core idea is going to be there, so I think this would be a good thing to test. So without further ado, let's get into it. So obviously we're gonna max out, we're gonna have guild buffs, and Arcane Trickster is intelligence based, so we're gonna have all intelligence. I have all the tomes. You wanna, not in almost all scenarios, unless you can't be, you want to be chaotic neutral as opposed to true neutral, because chaotic neutral allows you to be immune to the Chaos Hammer spell, which is a very, very common spell for enemies to cast. And the only downside is it makes you take double damage from the Order's Wrath spell, which is a very, very rare spell for enemies to cast. There's a couple, like, paladins and clerics in the game that are good aligned that cast it, and then also Maroots cast it, and other than that, no one casts it. However, all Hezrus and a very large amount of demons and evil priestesses and clerics all cast Chaos Hammer, meaning it is a very common spell. That is why I always pick Chaotic Neutral. I have already decided on what race I'm gonna do. I am going to do a Tabaxi. I will get into specifically why Tabaxi once we get to the tree, but TLDR, it gives sneak attack dice and it gives movement speed, and those are two things that are good to have. Another good option for Arcane Trickster would be Eladrin, because with the dash you can get, I think it's like 10d6 sneak attack dice for a short time, as well as getting extra intelligence. So that's another good option, meaning you get better DCs on Eladrin. Now obviously I have all the tomes, and I have all the epic past lives, and I now have all the iconic past lives, and I have all the racial past lives. I don't quite have every heroic life. I am missing 3 Stormsinger and 3 Arcane Trickster, but other than that I have them all. Let me just save this. Alright, so ability scores. Obviously, max out intelligence. That's self-explanatory, and then max out con. And then for my last 4 points, probably Dex. No, I don't need Dex. Probably Charisma. Probably Spot, Wisdom for more spot trapping, I would say. Let me just pull this panel over so you can see it better. And Arcane Trickster. I'm gonna save it in case the builder crashes, because sometimes that happens. I'm gonna go to skills, so max out tumble, Actually, don't technically need to max out. Only need 20. Max out UMD. Balance. Bluff. Concentration. Jump. Spellcraft. Spot. Search. Disable device. Open lock. Wow, you get a lot of skill points on this. I guess we're taking everything. I'm gonna take heal because you get heal spells to heal yourself with. Okay, so I'll take Diplo. Should take swim so you go faster. Okay, so it looks like to me you just take everything that has any useful use at all, is what it looks like to me. I guess just haggle for the last one. Alright, there's the skills. Alright, first feat. So we're playing this as a spellcaster, meaning that we want to take the spellcaster feats. So I'm thinking quicken to start. And really? Wait, Arcane Trickster doesn't need combat casting as a prereq? I didn't know that. I wonder if that's actually true. It is true, that's interesting. Maximize here for the Dark Gift. I think it's a no-brainer. Echoing Soul. That definitely has to be the right choice. Take Empower there. Then here, I think probably Arcane Initiate. Level 9. Let me just first spend my bonus feats. Illusion. Greater Spell Focus Illusion. Okay, so now I have all the feats that I need. Or that... Oh, well, never mind. Mental Toughness and Improved Mental Toughness are obvious choices for a spellcaster. Anything else I am missing? Insightful Reflexes is probably a good choice. So that way you don't fail your saves versus traps. I probably won't fail them because I'm on an everything comp, but it's funny having 120 to your save, so I'll probably keep that. You know, maybe mobile spellcasting is the play, because then you can move around faster. Maybe not a bad idea. Alright, and then we're going to come up here, we're going to click Epic Feats only for Epic slots, because I don't want to see the other garbage. So, Epic Spell Focus Illusion, duh. And then, Epic Spell Power Force. And then here, Wellspring, level 25. Probably First Blood. Is there a better choice than that? It's either First Blood or Crush Weakness. Problem is, I don't know if they're going to add Greater Color Spray to the list. If they add Greater Color Spray, I'd go for Crush Weakness, but I don't know if they're doing that, so I'm going to take First Blood so it procs on spells. Alright, level 27. Epic Mental Toughness is probably a good idea. Level 28. Surprisingly, I tested it on Lamania. Spirit Blades, since it hits 5 times, is actually very good. It's basically just another magic missile. But it does a little bit more damage, so it's actually not too bad a feat. I actually think it's probably a good idea on Arcane Trickster. And then, obviously, we're going to take Embolden, because Embolden is good. And then here, you either can pick Scion of the Feywild or Scion of the Ethereal Plane. Ethereal Plane is going to be more DPS because of sneak attack dice, but Feywild gives more DCs and spell power. So I'm going to go with the Feywild because I'm trying to build for illusion DCs. That's kind of my goal. I don't know if I'll be able to hit the DCs needed, but that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Alright, and then here... I guess I still have... I guess I could just take Crush Weakness here, to be honest. I don't think I need any of these spell specialties. Yeah, I don't think so. Or I could take Legendary Toughness, just get tanky. I don't hate that idea. And then here we're gonna take Intensify, because damage good. And then here, probably Titan's Blood, so I get more hit points. Alright, there's the feats. Obviously TBD, but that's my current plan on the feats. Go to the spells. Dimension Door, Force Missile, Freedom of Movement, and Phantasmal Killer. Wow, 39 DC, we're cooking. Chain Missile, Displacement. Boy, these spells are terrible. Wow, probably Haste. These spells are really, really freaking bad. I mean, this is sad. It's all trash. None of the level 2 spells will I ever cast. I guess Invisibility, if I remember, and Blur, overridden by Displacement, like, that's just, so yikes. Humble. Nate Shield. And Merfolks. Yep, that looks good to me. Alright, let us go to the enhancements. So, to start, we're going to take Feydark Illusionist, because we want to be in Feydark Illusionist. So, now is here we get into why Tabaxi. To start, Tabaxi can pick up extra max dex bonus, which is good, I guess. You can get sneak attack, 2 sneak attack die, one there, one there. You can get deflect arrows. You can get, that's not very good now that I think about it. You get movement speed, sneak attack die. This tree is not as good as I was thinking it was going to be, but I mean, you're a caster that leverages sneak attack dice, so there's not really a whole lot you can do. I guess Deep Gnome would be fine because you get Spellcraft, but I feel like the damage you get from the sneak attack dice is just too much. I would suspect the sneak attack dice is just better. And then here you can pick up a heal for leveling, so that's nice. More movement speed. And then I guess you take 9 lives, I guess? I don't know. I mean, there's some AP spent here that you don't really need to spend, but I still think it's probably the best choice. Alright, so first core, we're gonna take the Mage Hands because they're free damage. Probably should take the 10 spell power, should take the threat reduction. Right, Stolen Spell 1, Magic Missile. We don't need the deflect here because we took it into Baxi. We just take whatever imbue. Efficient Magic Quick and Stolen Spell 2. Alright, Chain Missile, obviously. 10% crit damage with force spells. Attacks and offensive evocation spells. Not casting any of those, so I'll just ignore that. 5 spell power and quick draw, sure. Mage Hand Slap. This will allow you to PK any enemy, so you should take that. I guess more threat reduction. Stolen Spell 3. I don't know. Flash Freeze is really good, but it lasts as a 30-second cooldown. I don't know if I can I mean, it's easily the best spell on the list, but 30-second cooldown? That's probably too long for it to be actually useful. Yeah, I mean, it's the best. Is it the best spell? No, wait. It's competing with force missiles. No, you want force missiles. Never mind. Sneak attack die for every meta magic. That's 5 total. Dodge. You have to take this to take Presto. Alright, so that's Spell Pen. That's good. Int Point. Not that bad with the spell. Don't need that. Alright, 2 to DCs. Meta Magic's reduced by 2. Insta-kill ability. Stolen Spell 4. By the way, this Gritter Evo has now been replaced with a Turn to Frog, although I still think you want to take the heal spell. So that way you can heal yourself. Alright, then I have 2 more points to spend. Threat reduction, 1 to my DC. Oh wait, no. I didn't take any stolen spells with DCs, then I don't need that. Okay. Then I guess MRR and MRR cap. And then the capstone gives you more damage, so take the capstone. If we go into Fade Arc, we can pick up spell points. Offensive illusion spells lower enemies' will saves by 1. Int Point. This will give 10 MRR because... Oh, we do get color strike because we're going in Fade Arc. So this will give 10 MRR because we're being affected by the Night Shield spell because we have it in our spellbook. And we also can use shield clickies to get another 10 PRR. Take a crit chance, intelligence, spell pen. Illusionary weaponry probably isn't a terrible idea if I don't have a spellcasting implement in my gear set. Int point, crit chance, int point. Easier to find spell wards so you can avoid them. It's not super necessary. Actually, now that I think about it, you probably just want to take the immunity to fear straight up. Okay, and then this gives you 1 illusion DC as well as free enlarge, so that's a really, really good ability to take. Then we have 11 points left, so obviously take the 20% movement speed. That's a no-brainer. And last 8 points, where would I put them? Need to see if there's any easy way to get spell. Is there anything good in this tree for 8 points? No. What about this tree? Get an int point. That's about it. What about this tree? Spell points, search and spot, and spell power. I think this is the play. Spell points, search and spot. Intelligence, 3 spell power. And there we go. There's the heroic enhancements. Let me just quickly spend my Reaper points. I'm now capped on Reaper points, so we're spending every single point. Really wish the Reaper trees were more interesting and had variety, or really anything to make them interesting aside from just stat increases. I'm taking will saves because I am probably going to have infinity reflex saves because based off my intelligence, and I'm probably going to have really bad will saves, I would suspect. That's why I'm taking will saves in the Reaper trees. As for why I took the Dex, the only reason I took the Dex was because it affects AC, and that is not going to matter in the slightest. It's just there's nothing better because the strength is even more useless. So, alright, Epic Destinies. So we're keeping Shadow Dancer and Sharadi. I would say probably the other tree we should run is Magus. So why would we run Magus? Well, the cores give force spell power. We can pick up threat reduction. We can get more spell power here. 10% more spell points here. Here we can pick up +3 to the DCs of fear-based spells, aka Phantasmal Killer. We can get Null Magic Aura, Spell Pen. We can get Illusion DCs. And we can also get Will Saves and No Fail on a 1. Even more Spell Pen, so this is a total of 1, 2, 3. So the cores are 7 Spell Pen, and this is another 3 for 10. Plus Spell Pen, we can get maximized cost reduction. Admittedly, a lot of this tree isn't very good if you don't take the Mantle or the Epic Strike, but what are you gonna do? However, the tier 5 is where things get really good. Free Intensify, Time Stop, the best epic moment. Oh. I have to take these to take this, apparently. So then I will cut points here and here. Am I still 1 point over? Yes, I am. Well, I can just cut a point there, take that, and we're back. This gives 20 more spell power. The other things doesn't matter, and then 3 spell DC. Sadly, can't take either of these because neither of these do force damage, which really sucks. Alright, and then Sharadi. Why are we in Sharadi? Sharadi increases hit points, spell points, and force spell power. And it also is where we find all the trapping stuff. And we also want to run the Sharadi Mantle because Sharadi Mantle is only good on magic missile builds, and since this build is only magic missiles for damage, the Sharadi Mantle is actually not, I believe it's not too bad. You can pick up good luck for skills and saves. To organize this. Actually, I'm gonna swap out mobile spellcasting for Nimble Fingers. I'll get into that real quick. You want to take the Stay Strong because it's force damage, and force damage now scales with MRR reduction. It also will slow enemies. And spell power or mantle upgrade. I would assume you want to take Pierce Deception because this gives you auto trap finding if your skills are high enough, and I'm trying to get my skills to be high enough. Then you probably want this. Actually, I think about it, just augment this with the augments. You probably want to take Phase Sight instead. This gives you 6. I guess Healing Spring. And then take the Imbue Dice because the Mantle damage scales off of Imbue Dice. Threat Reduction, lower saves, and Helpless damage. I need to cut points here so I can take Bring Darkness. Where are my Imbue Dice at? Imbue Dice is at 15. So I would need to get 6 more to get another multiple of 7. And if I dropped 1, I would end up with... Okay, so I can drop this. I can get 2 from gear, so that's not a problem. Theoretically, I can. Okay, so we have a lot of threat reduction that we don't need. Okay, so he cuts the threat reduction. So why did I take Nimble Fingers? Because Technician gives +1 sneak attack dice with Nimble Fingers, and most of your build's damage is going to be sneak attack dice, and we want to take the Shadow Dancer Epic Strike. It scales the illusion DCs and it does a debuff, and we also can get an extra 1d6 untyped damage per sneak attack dice per spell, so that's obviously good. And then what else? Problem is I want to take Well of Darkness, but I can't get the rank 3. What is my spell pen at? 27 without gear. Yeah, probably need more than that. Okay. There's the Epic Destinies. Obviously TBD if that's gonna stay. So what are my stats looking like? So my open lock is at 80. My disabled device is 91 without any items. My intelligence is at 51. Not great. Could be better. Hit points is at 1624. It's not too bad. Healing Imp is terrible. PRR and MRR is looking... Oh, it's literally all from the past lives. Okay. Well, let's just real quick come in here. Turn on shield. We're gonna have the potion of spell power. And we're gonna have the long-lasting intelligence. And we're also gonna have the Yugoloth essence of cunning, of course. Now our intelligence is 55. Problem is, I don't know where I'm going to get fortification. That I'm not sure about, because Yugoloth Potion reduces fortification by 50%. Yeah, negative 20. Well, what's my save on this? 61 without items. That is, not too terrible, actually. I've seen better, but I only need to build for 1 spell DC, so theoretically, that'll be better. 3,800 spell points. That's pretty good. 563 spell power. That's also pretty good. And then crit chance. Force is at 19%. Oh, I didn't turn on my toggles. That probably helped. So we're gonna turn on the Arcane Alacrity, Ancient Blessing, Fortification, and yes, Fast Healing. And then over here, we're going to turn on Deep Gnome because it's 3 to Illusion DCs. Quicken, Embolden, that, and that. Okay. So now, we have our toggles on. DC is 66. It's not bad. It's getting there. Alright, I guess it's time to get into the gear. So I'm gonna remember that we can gain 10 universal spell power when using a staff, dagger, or an orb. So that means that we are incentivized to use that. If I go to dagger, we're gonna run a Calamitous Dagger with the spell cost reduction, And we're going to run the Dolorous Arcana Force for Insight Force spell power. Then here, we're going to run the Dolorous... Where is it? I'm blind. Force spell crit... Oh, wait, no. Not that. Nope. We're going to get this somewhere else. Then I would say... I guess just force spell power. What's the intelligence? The +2 intelligence. There it is. +2 intelligence is probably better. And then in the woeful slot, since force damage now scales with MRR, we are going to take woeful flames, which gives ash. And since this is a weapon, we're going to put in a set augment. So we're going to put in touch of power, and then in the oh wait, no. We're going to put in the Meridian Fragment in the orange, and then a touch of power in purple. Alright, then in the offhand, we are going to put... I want to put the Slayer of the Living. Do I need to do that, though? Let me just see. Not sure it's worth the 10 spell power for the dagger. I'm gonna pivot off of that. I think 10 spell power is not the end of the world. Because instead of running a Calamitous Dagger, I can run... I'm blind, I'm sorry. Slayer of the Living here. With the shadows, with the Insight Force spell power, the Force spell power, and the flames, and then Meridian Fragment, and touch of power. The reason I would go for that as opposed to dagger is because with this you get the Revel in Blood magic, which allows you to do the Bane DOT as well as 2d6 force damage on spellcast. Both of those scale with spell power and crit chance, so those are both pretty decent procs to have. They're not a huge amount of damage, but they're not nothing. And then in the offhand, I can put... I'm looking on the wiki for something. Please give me a sec. In the offhand, I can put, if we go to the Warhammer slot, we can put in Sonyar Echo of Pain. And this item is good because the Rupturing Echo Sonic Dot is going to scale with spell power as well. This item also gives Sonic Lore, Quality Spell Focus Mastery +2, and we also can put in the LGS debuff of our choice. So I'm actually going to put Ash here, and then I'm going to swap this one out for I could put in Woeful Shadows for the 10 MRR debuff, or I could put in Woeful where is it? I'm sorry, I don't know what this one's called. Unless it doesn't exist. Oh, that's not it. What? Oh, here it is. Woeful Energy, this is dripping with force damage. So with this setup, I have Ash for the debuff, but I also have the dripping with Untyped from Revel in Blood Magic. I have dripping with Force, and I have dripping with Sonic, and those all scale with spell power. If the dripping with effects turned out to be terrible, I would just swap out the dripping with Force for Woeful Shadows, which gives 10 MRR debuff, which is also a good choice. And then over here, Touch of Power, because we're endgame build, so we need the set augments. And I guess I'm gonna put in the Ruby of Resonance spell power to scale the dot. Now I have 3 dots as well as the spell power. So where am I going to get my force crit chance? I was thinking of getting it on the Red Wizard site. Quality Potency 27, Kinetic Lore 24%, and then it also gives Sealed on Death. This is a 1% higher crit chance than the crafting, is why I think this is a good idea. We can take Insightful Intelligence and Topaz of Spell Focus Illusion and Topaz of Illusionary Power. Then in the Sun slot, we are going to put the Solar Gem of Spell Critical Chance. Anyways, back to here. So here, obviously, we're going to put the Greaves of Season's Warding because we're not trolling. So that's a no-brainer. Touch of Power. We have the 2 spell DC augments. So what else do we need? Glow of True Imperial Blood gives 1 to all stats. In the glove slot, I'm not sure about that one yet. In the ring slot, we are going to run the Theurgy of Spring as an artifact. The reason we're going to run the Theurgy of Spring is actually interesting. Apparently, I have been told that the Alchemical Air and Alchemical Fire Attunement actually have a separate chance to proc per magic missile, meaning that this is actually theoretically going to proc a decent amount of time compared to the technically better Theurgy of Autumn, which, even though it has the acid dot is better than the fire and the electric because of the proc chance, this being 100% and this being very low. But since we're using magic missiles, the acid proc is only going to proc once ever, even though it has guaranteed proc chance. Versus this, which even though it can only proc once per attack, it theoretically has a significantly higher chance to proc than usual. So I would assume that this would be the better choice, because this does a lot more damage than this. Also, because this item is going to be extremely accessible with the Starling's Remnant Rush coming up, as are all the artifact rings. So that also is nice. I don't have to worry about farming whatever god-awful quest is. Oh! Key to Mythal. Nice. Nice. If you're watching this video and following this build in 1 year, and you're like, I want to do this build, please don't. Please do not. Please do not use this gear set. It is never worth farming Key to Mythal for the ring artifact. It's one of the worst quests in any expansion, and the fact that you have to run it hundreds of times, no. Hard pass. Okay, and then in this augment, I'm thinking crystallized drop a T. This reduces spell cost of the cost of empowered spells, as well as giving a little bit of spell power in the blue slot. Greater heroism is nice. It gives 4 to skills as well as 4 to saves, and since we're a trapper, we need the skills. And obviously we're gonna have 10 filigrees, but we'll get to that after we finish the gear. Alright, bracers. Personally, I think the play is the bracers of the Battle Rager because of how much fort it gives, and fortification's good. And then we're gonna put Insightful Con 7 here. Oh, wait, hold on. I have made an oopsie. I need to put a set augment in this. We have Touch of Power. So what set aug... Oh, Perfect Silence. Duh. In here, we're gonna put Crystallized Drop of T. And... where is it? Perfect Silence. Alright, there we go. Then over here, we're going to run right, Gravekeepers, because I don't have a downcast. I don't have a downcast vest, and I don't really want to farm one. So here we're going to put the 5% crit chance, and then here we're actually not going to put the 15 spell power. We're actually going to put 2 sneak attack dice because I feel like that's more damage. And then here, sure, spell pen's good. And then here we're gonna put the last of the Perfect Silence sets. I also need to put a set augment in the goggles, I just realized. This green slot. Emerald of Arcane Empowerment. That's one of the 2 imbue dice that we need. So we're halfway there. 6 MRR? I don't know about that one, buddy. That looks a lot more than 6. Right, Topaz of Spellbook Solution. We're going to swap this out for a set augment, and I don't know which one. I mean, probably Tough Shields. Definitely Tough Shields. Because we're not running Mind and Matter. Helmet slot. We are going to put the Anguished Mind, because I have one with the Major Con Reaper boost. So that's a no-brainer. Then here we're going to put Force Crit Damage, Force Crit Damage, Force Crit Damage, and Sacred DCs. And then in the slots, we took out a Topaz's Spell Focus plus 2 illusions. We're going to put that back in. And then in this blue slot, we are going to put... I think the Sapphire of Healing Amp. In the Sun slot, we are going to put Solar Gem of Spell Power. Forgot to put a Sun slot in this. So we have the crit chance and the spell power. Solar, I mean. So that means here we are going to put the Solar Gem of Illusion. And this gives a +4 artifact bonus to illusion DCs as opposed to the +3 of the Spellbook's mastery, so we get one more DC. And since we're only specializing in one DC, that makes sense. Here, we're going to put the Elder's Focus, because there is no other choice on casters. You either run the Elder's Focus or the Elder's Cap. It is a non-option, because SSG will not release another way to get the universal spell crit chance for some reason. In this green slot, how to cast faster sounds good. In the colorless slot, we're gonna put Diamond of Spellcraft. And then here we're gonna have our Gem of Many Facets with Legendary Elder's Knowledge. I have a gem with Elder's Knowledge with the Major Masterworks Curse, so I'm obviously gonna use that. What I put here? Like Positive Lore, and then Positive Spell Power, and probably Insightful Resonance for the dot damage. Probably a good idea. In the cloak slot, we're going to run a Lamortia cloak. I need to figure out which one though. I believe these are the, yeah, those are the absorb ones. Gravekeepers. We're probably going to run the heavy, I believe. But I'm just checking. Yep, we're going to run the heavy cloak for the 51 Profane Life Force. So we already have our crit damage. So here we're going to put Melancholic Intelligence and Melancholic Quality Intelligence. So now we have all three of our intelligence stats covered. Let's set augments to have tough shields. Okay, so I need 2 more tough shields items. Here's tough shields. And in the green slot, probably a Sapphire Defense. And in the sun slot, we are going to put the Solar Gem of Intelligence for +4 intelligence. In the belt slot, what are we gonna put? Probably Baron's Bandolier because it gives false life. And it gives me 2 slots. In those 2 slots, I can put the Melancholic Constitution and the Dolorous Constitution. So now I have all my COD items. And then I need 1 more Tough Shield item. There's that. In this green slot, I think I'll put the Festive Intelligence just so I don't forget it later. And in this moon slot, we are going to put the Lunar Gem of Spell Power. I did forget the moon slot here. All right, moon slot here. We're just going to do this real quick. We are going to put the Lunar Gem of Illusion for +4 to illusion DCs. I didn't put the lunar slot in this either. So we have spell power, we have spell DCs. So that means we need to put the Lunar Gem of Intelligence in this one. And the gloves will put the PRR. Alright, so gloves. What gloves am I going to run? Oh boy, there's some terrible options. Why are these gloves all so bad? All of these gloves have overlapping stats with everything else I'm running. Or they're not useful to my character. It's the other option. Okay, I guess Gloves of the Resilience for the speed, the PRR, and the fort saves, I guess? Really don't know. Oh boy, augment. I think Ravels is a good choice. No, Ravels is a colorless. I can put that in the colorless slot. I don't think I have a Wizardry Topaz, so I'll put that in. Then in this slot, we're going to put the Ravels. And then since I have Insightful Con there, I can swap this Insightful Con out for... what? Oh, I can swap it out for Wisdom, which is not actually a bad idea because then, with the Wisdom, I get more spot. That's good for traps. Lastly, the ring slot. No, no, definitely not. No, no. Ring slot's always the hardest. No, it's not. I'm pretty sure this is the ring I want. The Clouded Dreams. Why? Because it gives Insightful Spell Focus Mastery +3, and I don't think I have this on any other item. It also gives me 15 spell power. It also saves me an augment on my armor. Those all sound like upsides that I want to do. Need to check if there's anything else I have to have. Oh, this is a yellow slot. So we're going to put the Essence of the Epic Litany of the Dead in here. For +2 Constitution. The green slot. Need to see if there's anything else I need for DCs. Probably Sapphire of Dodge. Do I have a resistance item? I don't think I do. I have to pick between dodge and resistance. Dodge. I mean resistance. Let me just double check that. Do I have whoops. Okay, so now is the time that I optimize the augments. So I need a green augment. Oh, wait, nope. Just swap this out. I don't need the Sapphire Defense anymore. And I can swap this out for Sapphire Dodge. And then I have both the crit chance and the spell power here, meaning that I don't need the crit chance here. And instead, I can take Converter for the hamp. Now I need to find whichever item I put the hamp on. Anguish Mind, okay. And instead of hamp, I can put on... It's Greater Heroism. What is my intelligence? 93. Out of Reaper, no Filigrees. That is not great. Would have liked higher than that, but also, I guess I'm not exactly trying to... I'm not exactly maximizing because I'm playing Tabaxi instead of Eladrin. What is my PK DC? 108 before Filigrees. And at a Reaper. Is that good? It's not bad. It won't land, but considering what I'm missing, that's not too terrible. Let me just double check. 39 spell pen, that's good. 4,500 spell points, that's good. Oh, I already have a wizardry item, so I don't need this. Instead, I can put in the Diamond of the Magi for 100 more spell points. So my force crit chance is 65%. That's actually pretty good. Huh. Surprised. That's very good, actually. That's like Alchemist levels of crit chance, unless you're a Cold Alch. Nice. Force spell power, 1,000 before Filigrees. What's non-stacking? Oh, right, potency. Alright, so that's good. That's good. Actually trying to look at this. Oh, what's my crit multi? Force crit multi is 100%. That's good. What's non-stacking here? Oh, right. Illusion is 50. So I have Sacred, Profane, and Quality, and Artifact. Okay. So far it doesn't look like I'm missing anything here. At least nothing that I could think of. Well, so to start, we're going to put in the Raid Intelligence Filigrees because we're a spellcaster. We need those DCs. We'll get our 16 spell power from the 2 rares of this set. And we will also get the other Intelligence Filigree set, which actually, funnily enough, is good on this character because Zaragan's Arcane Enlightenment actually gives force spell power, so we will actually be speccing into that. Surprisingly. Also, the Voltaic Experiment gives more spell power, so that's nice. Alright, so now we are at 112 out of Reaper. We're getting there. So I would probably try to get a Zaragan's. I think I need more DCs. I don't think I can spec into spell power. I think I just need the DCs. Intelligence for the 24 spell power. And if we go one more, we can get another one to spell DCs. Also some MRR if we use the rare, although I don't think I have the Zaragan's rares. Is my disable device 126? Is that? Oh, it is. That's funny. I can do traps, and I don't even have any trapping gear equipped. 141 spellcraft. Oh my goodness, that's that is no joke. Actually, I think I can clear this and put in a 4 spell power because I'm at an odd intelligence with the 2. I'll just put in. Well, no, it's only 4 spell power. It's not universal spell power, so I think I'll keep that. Okay. And then the other thing I like to run on casters is Lunar Magic. I think Lunar Magic is a really good set. It is 5 pieces, which is a lot, but it gives you a lot of stuff for 5 pieces. So you get 100 spell points, 2 to DCs, and 20 spell power. That seems like a really good. Also, in this particular build, we're a Force build. So that means we can use both the Force spell power and the Universal spell power Filigree. So we can use them both. So I'll just show that here. So we're going to do Lunar Magic, Universal spell power here. We're going to also do the Universal spell power here. And then over here, we're going to put in the Force spell power. And lastly, we are going to put in the, I think, MRR, because the other ones don't seem to help at all. Okay. So we're at 104 intelligence. What is our sneak attack dice? 31d6. I feel like that could be higher. Well, if we took the thing here, it would be 38d6. And I think people were saying you could get 40d6. So we're missing 2. Where would... Oh, the curse. The curse. Alright, so we have the sneak attack dice we're supposed to have. We're doing good. Alright, we get 4 more Filigrees. Wow. What would I put? Truthfully, I don't even know what Filigree sets boost Force spell power because I've never had to worry about that. So, give me a sec while I look real quick on the wiki for Force spell power, because I might as well. Alright, so we have both of the Filigree sets in the entire game that boost Force spell power. Lunar Magic and Zargans are the only ones. That's it. 117 DC on Phantasmal Killer. We need more DCs. We need more. We need more. That's all there is to it. We need more. So that means we should probably... Yes, probably a good idea. We go to Ravenloft. We put in Eye of the Beholder. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's Wisdom. We're not a Wisdom build, we're an Intelligence build. Eye of the Beholder. Intelligence. Obviously gonna run the rare if we can. And Eye of the Older Intelligence. And that right there got us 3 more DCs and 1 spell pen. That sounds worth to me. I also can actually drop this Queen's Diplomacy. Hold on. Why is this 2-1-1? Is that how it is in the game? That's not how it is in the game. There's no way. I refuse to believe that. There's no way. Why would it be like that? Yeah, it's not like that. Okay. So, This 1 point would be spent taking the 1 imbue die here. I can't do that for some reason. And we're going to get our 100% threat reduction by putting in an Epic Quiver of Alacrity. Boom, 105%. We will never pull aggro. It will not be possible. And just to make sure, yep, that would get us to 14 imbue dice. Alright, I am currently looking on the wiki to see what my last 2 filigrees would be. I'm just looking for anything that gives spell power or something of similar value. There is a lack of options. So... Well, Dragon Soul it is, with 5% cooldown reduction. Because with this, we can put in an int point. And a universal spell power. And the 2-piece gives 5% spell cooldown reduction, so we can cast our spells a little bit faster. Okay, I know I'm at an odd intelligence. And I believe, yep, here it is. This is 10 spell power, and we can just trade this out for a lunar magic intelligence. We lose 10 spell power, but it is what it is. When we're trying to land DCs on Phantasmal Killer, we kind of have to. So. Alright, so 108 intelligence out of Reaper. What is our DC? 121, so that means in Reaper it's 127. Is that enough? That is not enough. We need like 13 more. Well, I mean, it's not enough to land on everything. It'll land on some things. Is that still worth building for? Am I missing any stances? I would have expected it to be higher, to be honest. Did I, like, take the wrong thing? No. I have all the spell DCs. What am I missing? I actually do have an idea. This is a bad idea. This is a terrible idea. I definitely shouldn't do this, but we're going to do it anyways. We're going to swap out Insightful Reflexes for... What? Am I blind? Where are the spell focus feats? Am I stupid? Oh, here they... Oh, you can only take illusion and enchantment. Oh. This I did not know. I was looking for a giant list of them, but no, you can only take enchantment and illusion. Anyways, we're gonna take epic spell focus or spell focus illusion. No, I shouldn't have done that. We're going to take spell focus enchantment, epic spell focus enchantment. I mean, sorry, greater spell focus enchantment here. And then instead of epic mental toughness, we are going to take epic spell focus enchantment. Why would we do that? Well, because then here we can take spell specialty illusion for +3 more to our illusion DC. Even though we also have epic spell focus illusion. So this means from feats, from these spell focus feats, we get +6. And I, for one, think +6 is a bigger number than +3. Now it tanks our reflex saves. We lose spell points. A lot of spell points. We don't need those spell points. We also lose 1 crit chance. That admittedly isn't ideal. But we still have 64%. 40 spell pen. What's our spell power? 1115. This is out of Reaper without meta magics. By the way, I don't have the meta magics turned on. This is with them off. And also no Wellspring. I have that off as well. So we just turn on Reaper mode. 1147. All of the meta magics. Yep. We're good. We are good. That's good. It's a good amount of spell power. Our DC on this is 130. I like 130. 130 is a good number. I would have liked for it to be higher. I don't think there's any way to get higher though. I'm just looking. I mean, theoretically, we could get higher if we weren't a tabaxi. If we were a deep gnome. If we were a deep gnome, we'd give up on the sneak attack dice, which would be our damage, but we would gain 5 to our DC and 20 spellcraft. Is that worth it? I don't know. Thing is, most of our damage is the sneak attack dice. So is it... I don't think it's... I don't think it's gonna be worth sacrificing the biggest part of our damage that we have. Even just a little bit. I'm swapping this out for reflex saves because we no longer have insightful reflexes. Let me just check if Deep Gnome is even an option. Because I kind of want to land the Phantasmal Killer. I think that's a good choice. Oh, and Deep Gnome gets a second Phantasmal Killer. So you get 2 insta-kills. And you get a second greater color spray. Although the greater color spray shares a cooldown. And Tabaxi gives movement speed and the sneak attack dice, which is your damage. It's a tough call. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. It's really, really hard. I'm kind of thinking. I'm thinking Deep Gnome is the play. Not because it's more damage. It's less damage. I know it's less damage. But I think I want the DCs more. I'm thinking. Because like if I swap it over to Deep Gnome, I need a +1 heart. I know that. That kind of blows. But for an endgame build, I feel like that's a fair trade-off. Also, my builder might just crash right now. Nope, we're good. We got it. Alright, so our 14 intelligence. We get this, 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 this. We don't really need this greater color spray because we have it in Fade Arc. However, we can take 3 Search and Spot, 3 to our Illusion DCs, 20 Spellcraft, and then a Phantasmal Killer SLA. Oh, not just the spell. And we also take more max dex bonus and dodge bonus. Now, what's the DC? 135. That is actually approaching DC caster's level of DC on a rogue with 2 Phantasmal Killer spells. That isn't that bad, actually. I'm kind of surprised. That makes me wonder, would it be worth going and getting weird? Probably not. I can't imagine weird is better than time stop, is the only thing. 'Cause time stop is really freaking good. Time stop's awesome. I mean, weird is good too, but I just don't think it's better than time stop. Can't be. There's no way. Alright, so is this my final version of the build? I don't know. 171 PR, 106 MRR isn't the end of the world. 28 D6 sneak attack dice. Oh, I swapped out Technician, that's right. So that's 28 D6 sneak attack dice. Okay. So, okay. It's not as many sneak attack dice as I was hoping for, but I easily could get more if I just gave up on the whole DC thing. But I kind of wanted to try out gearing for DCs because it'd be funny. Need to and also this reduces saves by 1 and this also reduces saves by 1, so I guess that's 2 more to my DC technically. Alright, need to check. What is spell power is at 1169. That's my positive 873. That's plenty to heal myself with. That's more than I need. 1037 electric. Sonic is at 912. Electric's higher because the ring gives insightful. Fort is 293, so that's good. I just feel like I need more sneak attack dice. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Filigrees don't really have sneak attack dice, so that's not an option. I could get the curse for 2 more. That's like a lot of farming that I don't really want to do. Before I finish the video, I'm just gonna double check on the wiki to see if I missed any sources of sneak attack dice that would be useful. Doesn't look like I'm missing any, so I think that's where I'm gonna leave the build off. Whoa, where'd this pop out? If you made it this far, I'm surprised because I have spent too long on this, but if you like this kind of video, let me know in the comments because I have no idea what the community reaction to this is going to be, but I figured I would try something new, so let me know if you like this kind of video, and hopefully I get to play this, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, if you liked the video, do whatever you need to do for that, and I shall smell you later.